Good morning to total market Warren and total E1. My name is Antila Nihao with the metric number 141988 and then the tutorial date and time is Thursday 1 p.m. to 1:50 p.m. Today, I would like to present about the Pgt201E Instructional Technology Practice Project. The project title is Create a Game-Based or Gamification-Based Learning Strategy. First of all, you can see at my left of my slide, which is my module. My module title is Mathematics Teaching Method about Topic 10, Perimeter and Area. So, for my introduction is this module aims to guide mathematics teacher in preparation for the teaching and learning process in the classroom. My subject is Form 1 Mathematics and my theme is Perimeter and Area. In my module, today I am planning to teach about 10.2, which is area of triangles. My targeted students is from the SMK Methodist Form 1 students and my teaching time is 1 hour. Okay, so now for the learning outcomes. So at the end of the lesson, students should be able to achieve 2 learning outcomes. For the first learning outcomes is that students should be able to derive the formula of the area of triangles. The second learning outcomes is that students should be able to solve problems involving areas of triangles. This is my daily lesson plan. So for my subject is mathematics. The class is 1 hour. The date and day is 23 February 2022 on Wednesday. And then the time is 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And this lesson plan is occurred during week 12. And then the topic is chapter 10, Perimeter and Area. My content standard is 10.2, Area of Triangles, Parallelograms, Guides, and Trapeziums. There is 2 learning standards, which is a student should be able to derive the formula of the area of triangles based on the area of rectangles. The second learning standard is that a student should be able to solve problems involving areas of triangles based on the area of rectangles. My ABM, which is Alat Bantu Mengajar, is textbook and modules, and model and picture. My cross-curricular elements is involve creativity and innovation. Now let's move on to the right part. The thinking skills that involved in this module is that remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. Okay, so now let's move on to the induction set. So for my first activity, 1 is identify the shapes of triangles. And then this activity is using 5 minutes. So for the teacher's activity is teacher shows some pictures of shapes to the students. And then these pictures will be shown in Lampiran A. And then the student's activity is to identify the shapes of triangles. The purpose is to catch the attention of the students to the teaching and learning process that will take place and to provide exposure to students to the activities to be carried out. So now let's move on to the development activity 1, which is using 15 minutes. And then the ABM is grid paper. So for teacher's activity is teacher divides the students in groups of 4 and then asks the students to draw 3 diagrams in a grid paper given. Teacher will then ask some questions to the students by referring to the diagram A, diagram B, and diagram C, and this will shown in Lampiran B. So for students' activity, students draw 3 diagrams on a grid paper and then students will make a group discussion and then answer the question given by the teacher. The purpose is to derive the formula for the area of triangles. Okay, activity 2 is to solve the problems involving area of triangles, and then this is using 20 minutes and then the ABM is whiteboard and the marker pen. So this one, the teacher will divide the student in a group of 4 and then the teacher will then ask each group leader to do a presentation by giving the worksheet to the student. So this worksheet will be shown in Lampiran C. So the student will make a group discussion and then the leader of each group will do the presentation. So as a closure, the closure will take about 10 minutes and then the Alat Bantu Mengajar is paper. So teacher will make an overall summary for the lesson today and the teacher will emphasize the formula of the area of triangle and then teacher will ask the students to fill in the Google form to get the feedback of the today's lesson. And then teacher will assign 2 sets of schoolwork assignment to 2 groups of the students. So students need to listen to the summary from the teacher, and then the students fill in the Google form given by the teacher. Student is then receive the schoolwork assignments based on the group. So, for example, Group A will consist of the students who achieve 2 learning objectives, while the Group B will consist of the students who achieve only 1 learning objective. So, the purpose of this closure is to ensure that teacher conduct this activity to make a recap of the teaching and the learning process that took place today. So, the assignments are provided to the students to reinforce their understanding of the learning content taught today. So, now, after done the closure, now is assessment. So, for the assessment will take place at the end of the lesson. So, for the assessment will be carried out for 10 minutes. Yeah. So, for the assessment, I have prepared 2 assessments. The first one is quiz assessment. So, for the quiz assessment, the task will be performed online by using the word word quiz, which consists of 5 multiple choice questions. For second assessment, I am using PowerPoint quiz. So this task will be shared by using the PowerPoint, which consists of 10 multiple choice questions. So for these 2 assessments, I have put it in Lampiran D. Okay, now after the assessment, now let's move on to the assignment. So for the assignment, students will be given 2 sets of the schoolwork assignment. So for the Group A, they will receive a reinforcement assignment for the group that achieved 2 learning objectives. So for Group A, I have provided a total of 4 K-part questions constructed based on the top 3 levels in the Bloom's taxonomy pyramid. On the other hand, for Group B, they will receive a remedial assignment for the group that achieved only 1 learning objective. So, for this part, I have provided a total of 2 subjective questions constructed based on the 3 lower levels in the Bloom's taxonomy pyramid. So, for the assessment, I have put it in Lampiran E. Okay. So, now let's move on to the reflection part. So, for an hour on 23 February 2022, the teacher successfully carried out the teaching and learning process as planned in the daily lesson plan. So based on the learning objective set, there are how many students are able to master the learning objective, and then another one is how many students do not master the learning objective. So for the notes is that the teaching and learning process takes place in a orderly manner. Okay, now let's see for the induction set. So for my teaching and learning activities, I am beginning it with an induction set called Identify the Shapes of Triangles. So teacher will show some pictures of the shapes to the students, and then students are then try to identify the shapes of the triangles. So on my right is the different type of the shapes of the triangles. Okay, after that, I have carried out the activity 1. So activity 1 is called Drawing and Counting. So teacher divide the student in a group of 4 and then ask the students to draw the 3 diagrams in a grid paper given. Then, teacher will ask some questions to the student by referring diagram A, diagram B, and diagram C. Students is then draw the 3 diagrams on a grid paper, and then the students will make a group discussion and then answer the questions given by the teacher. Okay, for this activity 1, I have been using the game-based learning, which is drawing and counting. So, I am given the many different diagrams and then given the grid paper and then ask the student to draw it on the grid paper and then counting the area of the triangle covered. Yeah. So after they draw it and counting, they will answer the question given below. Yeah, as shown below. Yeah, I have provided many questions for the drawing and counting. So this is the question 3. Yeah, as sent before. And then continue with question 4 and question 5 for the drawing and counting. Yeah. After that, let's move on to activity 2. So for activity 2 is to solve the problems involving area of triangles. So teacher will give a worksheet to each student, and then teacher will divide the students in a group of 4. Teacher then asks each group leader to do a presentation, and then student will do a group discussion, and the leader of each group will do presentation. So these are the worksheet that teacher provided to the students, and then student can answer it on the worksheet, and then after that they can try to find the height, the base, and then the area of the triangle, and then they can do it in the worksheet, and then after they discuss and then find the answer, they can make a presentation in front of the class. Okay, now is for the activity summary and feedback form. So students will listen to the summary from the teacher, and then students will fill in the Google form given by the teacher. Then teacher will emphasize the formula of the area of the triangle is 1/2 multiply base multiply height. Yeah. After that, teacher assigns 2 sets of schoolwork assignments to 2 groups of students, and then students will receive schoolwork assignments based on group. For example, Group A consists of students who achieve 2 learning objectives, while Group B consists of students who achieve only 1 learning objective. Okay, so this is the feedback form that I prepared for the students. So there are 4 questions that students can need to answer and then provide the feedback. Okay, now let's move on to the assessment activity. So after conducting all the activities, the teacher will do online quiz using word quiz and also PowerPoint quiz. This assessment will do at the end of the class. For the word quiz, it consists of 5 multiple choice questions, while for the PowerPoint quiz, it consists of 10 multiple choice questions. These assessments are based on the 2 learning objectives to achieve. The teacher is then conduct this activity to assess their understanding of the teaching and learning process related to learning standards. So this is the word quiz, and then I have been showing the 5 question multiple choice question that I have prepared, and then the link is provided below. Next, this is my PowerPoint quiz. So this is the figure that I do for the PowerPoint quiz, and then the link is shown below. After we doing the assessment, now is move on to the assignment activities. So the teacher will give assignments to the students as schoolwork. The teacher will provide a reinforcement exercise consisting of 4 higher order thinking skill questions to Group A students. So the teacher wants to improve high-level thinking skills among the students by using the 3 high levels in Bloom's taxonomy pyramid, which is creating, evaluating, and analyzing. So there are 4 higher order thinking skill questions provided to Group A students. So this one, the student need to thinking on how to calculate the area of the shaded region, and then calculate the area, the height, and then find the value of t. Next, this is the assignment activities carried out to Group B students. So the teacher will give a remedial practice consisting of 2 subjective questions to Group B students. So the teacher wants to reinforce their understanding of teaching by using the 3 lower levels in Bloom's taxonomy pyramid, which is applying, understanding, and remembering. So these are the questions provided to Group B students. So for these 2 questions, students they can try to derive the formula of the area of the triangle, and then try to remember how to calculate the area of the triangle by using the formula of the area of triangle. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.